Gukesh, I have to ask you first off, why chess? I mean, when did that love or when did that sort of spark hit you that, this is what I want to do and this is what I love the most?
I never really had that one moment where I just where I knew actually. But right from the time I started playing chess around 7 years old, I mean that is the only thing that I cared about, and that is the only thing that um, kept me going. So, and also when I guess I was just too young to really think about my career or something, and when I started getting that maturity, I was already very good enough. So it just it was just the most obvious career choice.
Bit of modesty there, but we also hear that you did not, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you stopped classes when you were in the fourth standard and focused more on chess. I mean, that was one of the things that I read somewhere, and also that you did not play against engines like a lot of chess players do while they're training. What went into your training regime a bit, and if you could take us through when did you start focusing more on chess and sort of said, okay, studies can take a back seat, and how your parents responded to that?
Yeah, I stopped regular schooling when I was around around fourth standard, I guess. Um, I mean, obviously, at that time I was too young to make this kind of decision. It was my parents' decision, but it was clearly based on the only fact that I enjoyed chess and I'm quite talented at it. Um, and yeah, now I can only be happy that my parents took such a brave decision. Um, and yeah, uh, about the about not working with engines, it's something that we started out as just an experiment because it was my back then it was my trainer's uh, kind of idea to just look at positions without the input of engines. And I mean, it's an experiment which could have gone both ways, I
True,
think. But
true.
I did gain a lot, and I kind of developed a unique understanding of some positions. So, obviously, it's not only the positives. There have been some negatives, but I think overall it was a pretty good, uh, pretty good
Experiment.
experiment, and it's been executed.
Wow, well said. And if speaking of routines, is there something particularly that you have to do before any match?
Um, well, I try to find a simple routine, and I do that every day. I mean, it's not something that uh, it's some genius thing or anything, but just simple things over a period of time just puts you in the right rhythm, uh, keeps your mind clear, I think. So. Like I adjust the pieces in a certain way, and I make sure, like with some things that I'm comfortable before the game starts. I mean, just very simple things.
I have to ask you also, you've obviously played so many grandmasters, you've played such experienced players over the course of your short career so far. Is there any one moment or is there any one, person, anyone, it could be Vishy, it could be Magnus, anyone who's said something or who's given you an advice or it's someone else that's sort of stuck and it's sort of, you've sort of inculcated it or imbibed it or it's a part of you? Anything that's sort of helped you?
I can think of a lot of advice I've received over the years that have been very helpful. I mean, even just interacting with all the great players like Vishy sir, like
Yeah.
Magnus, anyone else, you learn a thing or two. I mean, even when you're just casually chatting, if you're really present in the moment, you can learn a few things that that you can use later. And there have been very. I mean, I have chatted with the great players a few times, and I've learned a lot. I can't think of a specific advice that completely changed the way I think, but yeah, there have been a lot of moments where I learned something that have been very useful
Sure.
in the future.